Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. My name is Mitchell Morgan, and today I have another video which is answering a question from one of my subscribers. Today it's a question from Julian Dulaylie. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. And the question is, how about comparing all three AI settings, easy, normal, and hard? And I think this has come about because they saw my video comparing how easy was compared to normal. And I've been moving from normal to hard throughout my journey thus far. As my abilities have got better, I've moved more to the hard and occasionally come back to normal. And they wanted to see the difference between all three. So I've chosen the Japanese four-wheel drive Challenge 500 at Mount Panorama Motor Racing Circuit, which is also known as Bathurst, because it's a circuit that has some long straights, some twisty bits, some quite technical bits, and it's a 2-lap race, so it's not too long. So that is the challenge. We're going to run hard, then normal, and I think we'll then finish up on easy, and we'll see how we go. So let's get into the video. First of all, we're going to go across to World Circuits. Hey, if you're a subscriber, thanks ever so much for following me along. If you're not and you're new here, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell. I'm trying to grow this new channel and it would really help me out a massive amount. So you can see here that I'm just going across to the hard setting. And I am going to be narrating this after I ran the actual races because I wanted to concentrate on them as much as I could without the distraction of actually talking. The car settings are going to be the same for all of the races. So basically I've got ballast 200 on the WRX. I've got the other settings just to bring it down to the requirements, and I don't touch those for the rest of all of these races. You can obviously pause the video if you want to see the settings that I was running on, but that's not overly important because all we're interested in is how quickly I can catch up with the traffic, how quickly I can get through the traffic, and then how far ahead of the hopefully the second place person is. On the hard settings, obviously the first thing we've got to do is actually get to the front of the pack. So you can see as we're going down this first sort of the shorter of the two straights, you can see that I'm really making no progress on the car in front. In fact, the Lancer in front of me is actually going away from me down here. So that shows me immediately that we've already got a performance issue that we're going to have on the longer straight. So I'm going to need to make that up through the corners as we do here. So I've overtaken both the Lancer and the GTO going through that little section. We're now coming up the mountain, so I need to get on with this because we started in 10th place and we're only up to 8th. Remembering this is only 2 laps, so we are really going to need to push this as fast as we can. And the other thing that I'm hoping to do is to keep my lap times fairly consistent. And I'm not the most consistent of drivers, but that was my aim. So we will be looking at the lap times as we go along. So we're up to overtaking the 6th place person just as we go over the top of the mountain. So we're now going down through this really twisty section, catching up with 5th and 4th place in front of us. And ideally we'll be able to get onto the back of them just as we reach this last corner. Not quite close enough to overtake them. And we'll see, yeah, I thought as much. They're actually going to go away from us down the hill. Now this is the long straight where I really need to be on terms with these guys, and you can see the time is ticking up on the left hand side there to the leader on 5.68, 5.7, 5.72, 5.74. So all of the cars ahead of me are going away from me at this moment. So if we're going to get anywhere near first place in this race, we've really got to do it through the twisty seconds. So we've managed to do the first of the imprexas, just under braking into that corner. As we come into the very last corner of the lap, we'll go up the inside of the yellow Subaru, make that one stick, and we're going to come across the line in 4th place with a lap time of 2:35. The Subaru just coming back at me a little bit there, managed to stay ahead under braking. However, coming down this straight, I'm expecting to see that Subaru on the radar any moment. Just having a quick look behind, and they're both there. There we go. One is on the radar straight away, so we're going to need to be careful because he's going to come by. The second car is also on the radar. He's going to come by. So you can see with the hard, the massive performance difference going down that straight. So keep that one in mind as we head up the mountain. So we're in 4th place at the moment. Just trying to keep this as clean and as quick as we can. So 3rd place is now in sight. The big question at the moment is, can we even get up to 1st and even win this race? 1st place is still 5 seconds ahead of us. I'm not talking about the gears and braking points, etc., because that's not important for this particular race. This is really just about having a consistent race and trying to just see how we do with these different AI settings. I'll remind you that we're running on the hard at the moment. As we just come down the hill, we are now in 2nd place. We've got the 1st place in front of us visually. We should be on the back of that car as we go through this corner, but I'm imagining that that car is going to run away from us down the hill. Also going to have to be reminded of the cars behind. The car behind is 3.4 seconds and catching us, thankfully not too quickly at the moment. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to stay 3 seconds, well, it won't be 3, but around about a second ahead of that car as we get to this tight left and right. However, the car in front of us is 3 seconds ahead, so it doesn't even look like we're going to manage to get 1st place in this race. Remember, this is just 2 laps. He's going through the last corner. I go through the last corner, really pushing it on the grass a little bit. And as we go across the line, that car is about 2.7 seconds ahead of us. So only 2nd place on the hard, and we lost out by, there we go, 2.7 seconds. We do get a clean race bonus, and I want to try and get a clean race bonus for each of these races. I'm not going to guarantee that we are going to do that, but that is going to be one of the things that I would like to do for this particular challenge. So we'll head up back to the options, and now we're going to change the race difficulty to normal, and hopefully we should be able to win this one. So let's retry the race. 2 more laps of Bathurst in the Subaru Impreza in our own rather nice livery. I do like that livery. Okay, so 1st corner. Are we going to be able to get on terms with the cars in front, or are they going to go away from us? It looks like we are actually closing the gap with the help of slipstream, admittedly. But we are closing the gap on the Lancer Evo. So between hard and normal, we are already seeing quite a large difference. As we go into the 1st corner, we're right with that car. We've got the GTO as well, which hopefully we'll be able to do on the inside as we begin the journey up the mountain. So that puts us in 8th place, which is not too dissimilar, I don't think, from where we were in the 1st race. I'll leave you to pause and rewind and analyse to your heart's content. But for the moment, I'm just going to press on. Still catching the car in front at a great rate of knots. Actually, that car caught me out quite significantly there, braking where it was. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. But that puts us up to 7 as we go over the top and down the mountain catching up with a good number of cars as we go through here. Can we put it up the inside? No, just backing out of that because we do want to keep this one clean. Is there going to be an overtaking opportunity through here? Unlikely. Yeah, door closing on us. Keep it clean. We've got that one overtaken just before this corner. We managed to do the R34 as well on the back of the Subaru. Now I remind you, the Subaru was actually running away from us very quickly down here. We have got slipstream and we are just about, we're not quite managing to stay with him this time. He is still going away for us under normal settings, but not quite so much as on the hard. The R34 has just gone by it as well, getting a little bit sideways. We've managed to get up the inside of the Impreza, so that puts us up into 4th place at the end of the first lap. So I think that that is a significantly improved progress over the hard setting. I didn't quite manage to get up the inside of the 3rd place runner there, but we should be able to get a slipstream as we head down the shorter of the 2 straights. Actually managed to get up the inside of that car, and we'll see the time is dropping slightly, so slipstream is definitely coming into play here. The cars in front are actually going away from us still on a fast part of the track. So with the normal settings, as with the hard settings, the AI cars are still going away from us in a straight line, but we are definitely catching them much more quickly through the corners. So they seem to be braking a lot more for these corners, taking it a lot easier, which is giving me the opportunity to really get through these. Now, as we go up the mountain for lap number 2, we are already caught up with the leader, and we did a 2:39 for the first lap, which I think is not too far away from what we did in the last race. So as we go over the top of the mountain, we are already up into 1st place, and we're pulling away now by some 2.6, 2.7 seconds already. So that is the difference between the AI on hard and the AI on normal through the twisty, more technical sections. I think you'll agree that that is a significant difference. So with clear track and a good exit out of the last corner, if we go down the hill, that's not the last corner, but the last corner of the mountain before we head down the hill, we are actually losing a little bit to the car behind. Down to 6, 5.9, 5.8, 5.7. So the car behind is still catching quite significantly, but we are significantly far ahead that we're going to be able to hold that lead as we go into these last couple of corners before we head underneath the bridge into the very last corner. It doesn't look like we're going to manage to be 5 seconds ahead of the 2nd place car, although maybe I'm going to be proved wrong. Can we get a drag to the line and keep that 5 seconds? I think we're going to be able to. We might even manage to push out to 6 seconds ahead, and that was a 1st place. 5.7, so that's 5.7, so 1st place and with 5.7 seconds ahead. In with the hard settings, we got 2nd place being 2.7 seconds behind the leader, so that's a significantly better margin. We still got a clean race, which is good, and then we'll just scratch the replay, come out of there. We will go into the options again. We'll set the race difficulty this time to easy, and I'm hoping that we'll go first. I'm hoping now that we will be able to get through this race significantly quicker than we did the one before. So let's start the race. Same car, same track, same settings, so we are completely like for like. The only change is the AI setting. So we've done hard, we've done normal, and this one is easy. And you can see already going down this short first straight, we are already overtaking the other cars quite quickly. So we're up to 9th already, and we are, looks like we're going to be able to do 8th before this corner, before we start going up the hill. So on the easy settings, we're actually able to catch up and overtake cars in a straight line, which also then means that we should be able to get through them very quickly through the twisty sections. So let's get up the hill, see if we can get on the back of car number 6. And I wonder whether we might be able to be up with the leaders by the end of the first lap. That would be quite interesting. So a nice easy overtake on the outside of the blue Subaru. Nice easy overtake on the Mitsubishi. We'll come underneath the R32 there. So that's put us in 4th place before we even got to the top of the mountain. 3rd place is easily done, slowing it down so we don't run into the back of 2nd. Do we get an opportunity? Yes, we do. I don't think we would have got that under the hard settings. And as we go through this twisty section on the downward section, we are already up behind the 1st place car. In fact, we are going to be in 1st place as we head down the hill. So this is effectively a little over halfway through the lap, the first lap, and we are already in 1st place and pulling away from the 2nd place driver. Actually, no, he is actually catching us. So I think he had a better exit out of the corner at the top of the hill. Going to be pretty close as we get to the bottom, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. Now it's all going to be about keeping it clean, keeping it tidy, and seeing how far ahead of the 2nd place car we can get. So we've pushed that out to nearly 3 seconds already. Let's see if we can make that 3 seconds as we cross the line. Remember, this is the first of 2 laps, and it's looking like being nearly 4 seconds ahead at the end of the first lap. So I'll remind you that we were 5.7 seconds at the end of the normal race. 5.7 seconds, and we're now 4 seconds ahead just at the end of the first lap. We did a 2:39 for the first lap in the last race, and we've done a 2:35, so we are actually quicker ourselves under the easy settings, and I think a lot of that is because it's easier, far easier to get through the traffic. So as we head up the hill, we're now 4 seconds ahead of the car behind. They would have been catching us down the short straight. This is my opportunity to try and get away from the cars and see if we can build a little bit more time. So 5.4 seconds as we go up the hill, still climbing at the moment. Obviously 1st place. We just need to keep this clean. I am going to be looking for a clean race bonus at the end of this one as well. So it wasn't that I was barging my way through the traffic on any of these. Very often when I'm racing on the hard settings, I do end up rubbing doors, rubbing bumpers to try and open up opportunities for overtaking. We didn't do any of that in this particular challenge. Part of it was to keep clean. So as we enter the last corner before we head down the hill, we are 13 seconds ahead of 2nd place. So I'll remind you, for the normal settings, we were 5.7 seconds ahead of the 2nd place. At this point, we are nearly 16 seconds ahead. We're getting caught again at the moment. So the car behind is actually still quicker than us going down the hill on the straights. Let's see if we can just pull out a little bit more of a margin in the last few corners as we head underneath the Armor Bridge, down to the very last left-hander, watching for the 50-meter board, get it turned in. 13, 14 seconds, 14.2. We're going to make that 14.3. 14.3, no 14, looks like a 14.1. However, a 14-second advantage over the 5.7 that we had in the previous race shows just how easy the easy setting is compared to the normal, and how easy the normal is compared to the hard. So we do get a clean race bonus. So all three of those were clean races, which is really good. So in the first race on hard AI settings, we only managed to get second, and we lost that by 2.7 seconds. In the second race, we did manage to win it in first place, and by 5.7 seconds. And in the third race, we managed to do that by a massive 14.1 seconds. But more interestingly, we actually managed to overtake all of the cars around about halfway through that first lap. So we got through the traffic a lot quicker. So, Julian, I hope that you found this video useful. For anybody else, if you found it useful, please hit the like button. It really helps your channel. If you are new around here, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I'm trying to grow this new channel, and every subscriber is really valued at the moment. In the meantime, thanks ever so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye bye.